I met him when he was playing for Adelaide City in the mid-90s, and he was injured at the time, and we commentated on local football. And my first impression was, this guy lacks no confidence.
He was an attacking midfielder. His style was very aggressive, scored goals which coaches tend to like. I roomed with him, so I could tell other stories, but no, there's no doubt. Certainly, a lot of my recollections of time with Craig was talking about how the game could get better, and how we could improve things. We obviously qualified through Oceania at that time, so for those of the last 20 years or so who understand qualifying through Asia, it was totally different for us. We had the low light, which is very easy to remember, and that's Iran, but a few short months later, we were playing in the Confederation Cup finals. We played against Brazil twice. We drew with Brazil, which is a fantastic result.
It's an amazing moment in Australian sport. How can you top this? It's only World Cups that can do this. Given the fact that he missed out so spectacularly before with Terry Venables' Socceroos, it just showed how much it meant for him, for Australia to get to that point of a World Cup. Not everybody shared his views, but you could never criticise him for not being authentic.
He scored! Australia have done it!
Come on, Australia! Johnny Warren!
He was unconventional as a co-commentator. Truth be known, he didn't really enjoy doing co-commentary because I don't think he felt like he had enough time to make his point. And the most poignant moment, I think, was when Tim Cahill scored that spectacular goal against the Netherlands in 2014, and literally, whilst calling the goal, I was being shaken by my co-commentator.
It's dangerous! Tim Cahill! Can you believe it? He's done it again!
That's an unbelievable strike! Timmy Cahill!
He was a proud Socceroo as a player. I think he was acutely aware of Johnny Warren's legacy and the way Johnny advocated for the best version of Australian football. And I think in the way that Foz looked at the game in this country, he agitated for exactly the same thing.
I've been involved in the PFA for more years than I'd care to remember. Things have been progressively on the up since then, and the PFA has been a huge part of that, in my humble opinion. Craig, I'm sure, would agree, and he's been heavily involved as well. And now we have relevant debate about the conditions of the Socceroos, the Matildas, and so on and so on. He has been successful in advocating for those causes.
Your white centre love, Hakeem. All of Australia is with you. Be strong, buddy.
I remember having a coffee with Foz at the time that this story broke, and he was weighing up what the best approach was. He made the decision to go 100% into trying to save this young man's life. I think he's got a very strong sense of social equity in this country and the way that should be reflected. As he's got older and matured and studied and learnt, I think he's realised that sport has a responsibility to uphold human rights and call out injustice, and I think he's done that really well.
I would hope that the Hall of Fame clearly has to be people who have made a positive impact to football. As a player, a long career with club football, with the Socceroos, post football, the various causes that he's been involved with, while staying a strong advocate for Australian football, which he has always been. There's all the more reason that everything that he does gives a positive spin towards football, which is what we all want.